In the past, I've had friends who went into relationships simply because other people were going into a relationship. Their friends were going into a relationship, the classmates were going into a relationship, and they felt, okay, yeah, I can go into a relationship because my friends are in a relationship. There are some of my friends who felt that they were old enough. They felt like, I've come of age, I should be in a relationship. And then they go into a relationship. So they go into the relationship and they come out of it unfulfilled, unhappy, brokenhearted. In this video, I'm going to share with you signs that you are ready to commit in a relationship. My beautiful ladies, you're welcome to my channel. My name is Chidi. I'm a wife and mom, and I make videos about Christian dating because I believe that having the right knowledge about marriage is important, is essential to have a happy home and prevent divorce in future. If you're a returning subscriber, I love you and always pray for your home. If you are new here, please consider subscribing and joining this family. Let's get into the video. People go into relationships because they feel that they're old enough and other people are going into a relationship, or that's the right thing to do. Whatever it is that you think is your reason to go into a relationship, I want you to ask yourself if you are ready. If you are ready to commit in the relationship, what is your plan? What is your goal? What do you intend to achieve with that relationship? First thing you've got to put on your mind is that you have got to be physically ready for any relationship. You have got to be physically ready. You need to have knowledge of what you're going to do there. What is your plan? Who are you? No, let's start from who are you? I'm not saying whose child are you. I'm not saying who is your father. I'm talking about who created you. What is his purpose for you in this life? What is his purpose for your relationship? God has purpose for us. And that is why when you're talking, and you're in a relationship with someone for so long, you don't even know who the person is. Ask yourself, who are you? You're God's child. You're saved by him. I am saved by God. I am redeemed by God. I am God's temple. So everything that you will do in your relationship must reflect that. Knowing who you are is going to help you know where you're headed. The other thing that you need to know about who you are your values. What adds to you? What makes you happy? What fills you up? Because if you don't know what your values are, you won't know what your boundaries are. People are going to cross your boundaries because you don't even know what they are in the first place. So knowing your values, knowing your boundaries, knowing your beliefs, studying yourself for real and knowing who you are is going to help you in choosing someone. Where do you want to be in the next 10 years? Your future plans. Where do you want to be in the next 10 years? Where do you want to be in the next 20 years? You want to have a beautiful family, you want to be rich, you want to be this, whatever it is. The person that you are in a relationship with or you're going to go into a relationship with has got to match these values. They've got to match who you are. They've got to match what values you have, the beliefs you have. Because you cannot have Christian values and think that someone else who is not a Christian, who does not have the same values as yours, will match. No, they don't match. You're here for a purpose. Someone who you're going to choose, who you're going to be in a relationship with, who you're eventually going to get married to, has got to match these values, this purpose. They've got to be on the same line with you. Knowing who you are, having complete knowledge about who you are, where you're headed, then you know who you want to walk with you in this journey. You've got to be physically ready for a relationship before you commit in a relationship. One has got to be intentional. You cannot live life just like that. Because if you live life just like that, then you're going to be ruining your life. I have learned from experience that I've got to be intentional about everything in my life. I've got to be intentional about how I talk, what I do, because naturally, humans are not wired to do good things. I'm not wired to love anyone. Because looking at another human, I would feel unhappy because of how they act. But God says, love. And that's where intentionality comes, because you now realize I'm here because of God. And God has said, love. I have to love unconditionally. I've got to love people. I've got to not care about what, how they behave and all of that, and accept them for who God has accepted them for. Knowing who you are is knowing that you're God's child. Knowing who you are is knowing that you are brought here by God for His will. If your relationship does not glorify God, then you should quit. If your relationship does not honor God, if your body is a temple of God and you use it like it's a dump ground, then you shouldn't be in that relationship. A relationship that causes you to sin against God is not it. Being physically ready is not just about age. Because you can say that you're old enough, but you don't have the knowledge about a relationship or what you should be doing in a relationship. In a relationship, you should be finding out more about the other person. You should be finding out more about the other person, and you should, be helping each other to get better and to know if this is the person that I should settle down with. Is this the person that God wants me to settle down with? Is this the person that God is destined for my life? Understanding the difference between love and infatuation. This is where knowledge comes in again. There are people who feel they're old enough, but they still experience infatuation. They're infatuated by people because, oh, he's handsome, he's rich. Look, infatuation is just like, the strong desire. It's so it doesn't reason. But love is different. And if you understand what love is, there's a lot that you need to understand when it comes to relationship. Don't be fooled. Don't think that everything is love. No. There are people who have made the mistake of getting married to someone they were infatuated by. And it didn't end well. Infatuation is different from love. I want us to get that right. Being physically ready shows that you know the difference between love and infatuation. You know that it's not about age, but maturity, but knowledge, the knowledge of who you are, and the knowledge of why God has put you here or put you in this relationship. Knowing that you are special is going to help you choose someone who's special. I have heard people go into relationship with people just because they feel that they are not going to find someone else. Oh, I better go into this relationship with this person because I don't think I'm going to find someone else if I say no to him. It's not about that. You are special. You're God's child. And God has made you for a reason. God has created you for a purpose. God wants you to choose rightly. Marriage is not something that you go into and then you just walk out of it just like that. Look, it affects people. And we are tired of people, children suffering because two adults, quote unquote, have not made decisions, healthy decisions. You've got to be physically ready before going into a relationship. And if you are in a relationship where you don't know yourself properly and the other person doesn't know himself properly, or you cannot clearly state who you are to yourself or even to your partner, then you need to consider this. You have got to be emotionally ready. You've got to be emotionally ready before you go into a relationship. Have you healed from past trauma? You say, okay, I went through abuse while growing up. That's why I'm like this. Have you healed from your past trauma? Have you healed from the abuse, the trauma, the stuff you went through? Have you sorted out your issues? Healing is so important because if not, if you have not healed, you are going to be bringing past hurt, pain, disappointment into your new relationship. You are going to be bringing hurt into your relationship. You're going to suffer for it, and your partner is going to suffer for it. You have to heal. You have to heal before before you can help other people, before you can encourage someone else. If someone hasn't healed, how does a person want to encourage you? What do you want to tell your partner? What do you want to tell someone who is going through the same thing you're going through? Healing is so important, sorting out your issues. Some people have exes, ex-boyfriend or girlfriend, who are still holding on to them. Some people are still holding on to their exes. Some people have impossible expectations just because of past relationships. Some people have gone through hurt from past relationships that they're going to into a new relationship because they want to take revenge for their past hurt. So their new partner gets to suffer for what the person has gone through in the past. That is someone who has not healed. You need to heal. That's one sign to know that you're ready. Some have personality characters that have doomed past relationships, and they have not taken time to ask themselves, what happened in my past relationship? What are those things that I went through that caused my relationship to not work out? How do I work out from it? How do I work on it? How do I get better? How do I improve? By the time you ask yourself these questions, some people blame their exes. Like all the exes in their life is the cause of all the problem. All the exes have caused all the problem. They are never at fault. Please be careful. People who blame the whole world for their problems, people who have not healed from their trauma, people who have not healed from. Look, this world, things are going to happen to you. A lot of things are going to happen, but you've got to be ready. You've got to learn from them and move on. Everything that happens to us for a reason, for us to learn something. And if you don't learn from it, then it has only happened in vain. And someone said it's going to keep happening over and over again until you learn from it. How do you feel emotionally? Do you understand your emotions? Do you know why you're always happy? Do you know why you're sometimes sad? Do you know why you're withdrawn sometimes? Having complete knowledge about your emotions is so important because this is going to help you communicate your boundaries to the other person. Accepting how you feel is very, very important. Sometimes these feelings are there to keep us safe from something. Sometimes when you feel like, I just want to be alone, it's there for a reason. To regulate us, to help us. What fills you up? What are your triggers? What are those things that people can do that's going to make you down for the rest of the day? What are those things that people or your partner would do that's going to make you happy, that's going to make you full, that's going to make you feel like you can achieve everything in the whole world? You can choose. You can choose. You have to be emotionally ready before you go into a relationship or before you commit in a relationship. Please do not make the mistake of thinking that someone else can fulfill you. Do not make the mistake of thinking that you are going to find fulfillment in your relationship. You're not going to find fulfillment from your relationship. Only God gives fulfillment. Only God gives happiness. Only God gives you joy. Your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife is not going to make you happy. It's not going to always make you happy. Only God, and realizing that your joy comes from God, Your happiness, your fulfillment comes from Him. Helps you know how to regulate your emotions, helps you know how to handle your life, and helps you know what direction you're going to. Commitment as commitment for me is a promise. That's my third point. Being physically ready, being emotionally ready, and seeing commitment as a promise. Do not make commitments too early in your relationship. Do not make commitment too early. Give time, understand the person, know exactly who the person is before you go into a relationship, before you commit into a relationship with the person. Commitment is a promise. So when you say, I want to do this, I want to take care of this, I want to be in a relationship with this person, keep to your word. Some people lie so much that they don't know the difference between truth and lie. Stop lying to yourself. Stop telling yourself you are what you're not. Stop trying to mask everything about yourself. Being open, real, and authentic is going to help you and your partner. Commitment is a promise. Stop breaking your promise each and every single time. Stop telling someone that you love the person when you don't. Stop telling someone I want to marry you when you know you're not ready. Stop telling every single girl that you love them, you want to marry them, and at the end of the day, you break their heart. Some people, like I said, don't know the difference between lie and truth because they're so used to lying. Look, you want to know if you're ready for commitment. You know. You know. You know if you have the knowledge, if you know what you're doing, if you know where you're headed. You know if you've healed from past trauma and from past relationship hurt. And then before you make that commitment to say, I want to stay with this person, I want to be in a relationship with this person and I want to make it work. And I want to get married to this person. You making that promise, please stand by it. Being open, being real, being vulnerable. Stop hiding your past. Being able to communicate with this person and say, this is what has happened to me. This is what I did to heal from it. This is what my plans are to not go back to my pain, to my hurt. This is what my plans are to move forward, to achieve something in life. Communication is important. And someone who is emotionally ready knows how to communicate. You should know how to communicate your feelings, your emotions. You should know how to communicate who you are to another person. Understanding that difficult times are going to come. But working together is going to make you stronger. And if you're ready for this, then you're ready to commit in a relationship. But if you feel that you're not ready, look, if something happens, I want to leave. There are friends, there are people who know that their marriage will not last even before they decided to get married. Because they see the signs. You see the signs before you get married. You see the signs before you get married. Sometimes, and you don't walk away. You decide to get married to this person, and then now you're asking yourself, what happened? Some people see the signs early enough. Look, being physically ready, emotionally ready, matured enough, and having the willpower to say, this relationship does not fulfill me. I have to leave. Emotionally strong people know when to say no, know when to walk away, know how to walk away from toxic relationships. You need to know that you're here for a purpose. Your relationship is to glorify God. Your marriage is to glorify God. Your home is to glorify God. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have not subscribed, please join this family and I will see you in my next video. Bye.